In the bustling city of Greybridge, nestled between modern high-rises and busy streets, stood Greystone Manor, an abandoned house that had defied time. Its blackened windows and crumbling walls seemed out of place, yet no one dared to tear it down. Locals whispered that it was cursed, a place where the past refused to let go. The house had belonged to the Harrow family, a wealthy dynasty that mysteriously vanished one stormy night over a century ago. Rumors claimed the house was built atop a burial ground. Others said the Harrows dabbled in forbidden rituals. Whatever the truth, the house remained, a haunting reminder of something no one could explain. One evening, as a cold autumn wind swept through the city, 4 college friends, Emma, Liam, Claire, and Jason, found themselves standing before the iron gates of the manor. Emma, the skeptic, laughed off the stories as mere urban legend. Liam, ever the adventurer, insisted on exploring. Jason hesitated, feeling an unshakable dread, while Claire, ever curious, couldn't resist documenting the experience for her blog. With a shove, the gate creaked open, revealing an overgrown path leading to the house. The once grand entrance loomed before them, its wooden doors cracked and splintered. As they stepped inside, an unnatural chill filled the air. Their footsteps echoed through the grand hall, where a massive chandelier hung precariously, its crystals coated in dust. The first room they entered was a library. Rows of ancient books lined the walls, their spines cracked and titles faded. On a table lay an open book, its pages covered in strange symbols. "Look at this," Claire whispered, running her fingers over the writing. Suddenly the candles in the room flickered to life, casting long, eerie shadows that danced on the walls. Jason stepped back. "This doesn't feel right," he muttered. They decided to move on, but the house seemed to have a mind of its own. Doors creaked open, revealing dark hallways that stretched impossibly far. The group came upon a grand dining room where a long table was set with fine china. The plates were covered in dust, but as Emma brushed one clean, she froze. The reflection on the plate didn't match reality. Instead of her friends, she saw a shadowy figure standing behind her. "Let's go," Jason urged, his voice shaking. But Liam, ever curious, led them upstairs. The staircase groaned under their weight, and, with each step, the air grew colder. On the second floor, they found a nursery. A small rocking chair moved back and forth as if pushed by an invisible hand. In the corner stood a tall mirror, its surface foggy. As they approached, the fog cleared, revealing their reflections. But something was wrong. The figures in the mirror wore old-fashioned clothing, their faces pale and hollow. One by one, the reflections turned to face them, even though the friends hadn't moved. A voice echoed through the room, faint at first, but growing louder. "Leave while you can." Panicking, they fled the nursery, but the house wouldn't let them go. The hallway twisted and stretched. Doors appeared where none had been before, and the wallpaper seemed to bleed. They found themselves in the attic, though they didn't remember climbing the stairs. In the attic's dim light, they discovered a circle of candles surrounding a faded photograph of the Harrow family. Their faces seemed to shift, their eyes following the group. Claire picked up the photograph, and the room was suddenly plunged into darkness. Whispers filled the air, a cacophony of voices overlapping. "You disturbed our peace. You must stay." When the lights flickered back on, Liam was gone. His flashlight lay on the floor, still on. Emma screamed, and Jason frantically searched the room. The shadows seemed to come alive, reaching out with claw-like hands. Emma and Jason grabbed Claire, dragging her down the attic stairs, but the house fought back. The walls seemed to close in, and the floor beneath them shifted like quicksand. They made it to the front door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, now a deafening roar. As they turned, the chandelier in the grand hall fell, crashing to the floor and plunging the house into darkness once more. When the lights returned, Claire was standing alone, trembling. There was no sign of Emma, Jason, or Liam. She stumbled out of the house and into the street, gasping for air. The manor stood silent behind her, its dark windows watching. Claire tried to tell her story, but no one believed her. When she returned the next day with the police, the house was gone, replaced by an empty lot overgrown with weeds. To this day, Claire dreams of her friends' faces, twisted in terror, staring at her from the attic window. And late at night, in the heart of Greybridge, some claim they hear whispers carried on the wind. You will never escape. The curse of Greystone Manor continues,